Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of The Learning Curve. And as what is our motto again? Ain't nobody gonna break it. Our glide.
Our glide.
Our glide, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna break our glide. We are so excited. This is my co-host Lauren here.
Hello.
I'm Derek, and we are so excited to have Eric Bilardi today joining us from Los Angeles. Um, if any of you are familiar with the adult skating world, I'm sure that you probably may have heard of him or watched him. He's been a huge inspiration for me. Eric has won the Masters Intermediate Novice Men title in St. Louis this year. Um, he has also won, let's see, in 2021 as well, captured the Masters Intermediate Novice Men as well. And then in 2019, your first major title in this section, marking the start of a remarkable championship streak. So you have 3 gold medals already under your belt.
Yes, sir.
Lots of others behind you there. So yeah, you're just a kind of a. I met you in person a few years back. We were in San Jose and we were practicing at the rink near where they were competing. And I just remember watching you and just thinking, man, that guy has so much talent, like so much raw talent. And you're 10 years older than me. And so
Ah,
you're a huge inspiration because I'm like, if that guy could do a double double like that at 58 years old, then I could maybe do a double someday. I don't know.
absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, so please tell us all about how you got started, and yeah, I would love to
Well, to start, thank you so much for inviting me. It has been such a journey of something I've been pouring my heart into. At 26 was the first time I ever stepped on the ice. And that was at the rink that I mostly train here in Burbank, California. Uh, and I skated as a kid. I roller skated in San Jose. From 9 until about 14, I did dance with a partner.
hear.
So my extension and line foundation happened on roller skates back in, yeah, a long time ago. And when I found ice skating, I went straight from the public session to the pro shop and bought skates. And I never looked back. At 30, I had worked my way up to competing at the gold level, and I broke my back. I had a spiral in a program, and it was in front of John Nix and Yvonne, his partner at the time. I was doing a run through before my second nationals, and I had a spiral that I just pulled too hard on my leg, and I herniated 2 levels of my back. I had 10 months of hell, and then I had major back surgery. So I never thought I was going to come back to figure skating. To be really
Sorry,
honest,
what area, what part of the spine?
L4, L5, L5S1,
Mhm.
major herniation. Fortunately, when they got in there 10 months later and did this surgery, I had I had some pretty severe bone spurs growing. He was able to just do laminectomy, so I don't have fusions because I was expecting that. And long story short, I healed really well. I had 15 years of yoga. Always in the back of my head, I missed skating, but I never thought I would come back. And then I had a choreographer, Irina Yelchin, who I was quite close to. Her son was Anton Yelchin. He played the Russian on Star Trek. I, for 40 years, have been a hairdresser in Hollywood. I always took care of celebrities. He was one of them. Anytime he had a film, I'd get him ready for it, for all of it,
Oh, wow.
um, junkets and everything. I was getting him ready for his final, before he passed, his final film from Star Trek. And Irina says, "You look great. You should come back and skate." And I was 45. So at 45, they invited me. I went to Pasadena where they were, Victor and Irina, and I just got the bug. I felt so good because I'd been doing yoga for so long. My back was only going to get stronger from what I was going to ask my body of. But yoga really was the key to my success to get back to the ice. And I've been 45, I'm 58 now, and I haven't stopped. I'm actually, my goal is for this year, after winning it 3 times, is to move up. So my goal and my coach, and we're on the same page and excited. I'm learning a double Lutz and a double flip now. The last 3 years, I focused on double loop.
Mhm.
before that, it was the sow and the toe loop.
Mhm.
And the axle, it's always going to be in work. So it is kind of exciting at 58 to still be, having some goals, but I do want to move up. I want to compete.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not on the podium, at least I can warm up with these really elite skaters
Yeah.
and I just have that experience because I've done it now at intermediate novice. So that's truly my goal.
Can I ask,
But
how tall are you, Eric? How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah,
I'm
so you're
six.
you're pretty tall too. So I mean, you definitely have a skater's body for sure. But you are tall.
Yeah.
And I'm also 6 foot. I am just blown away by your technique. When I
Mm.
watch, I mean, you're such a strong technical skater, and your artistry as well. I mean, just a beautiful skater. I just love watching you. So, I guess my next question is, what do you do off ice? Like, can you talk about what you do off ice to sort of maintain your?
Well, as I'm continually going, this last year I've dedicated, to come back after winning the title twice. And then I came back. I actually had major knee surgery, so I missed a season. I came back and I was sixth, but I wasn't ready. And then I came back and I think I was third. And then I got to win this last year, which is, was the goal ultimately. At each time I had felt to myself I had failed. I've just added more warm-up time. At my age, I don't jump off ice, very little. Most of my 30 to 40-minute warm-up at this point for this entire season starts off on the mat. I'm on my back, letting my whole vertebrae just have a rest with my knees up, stretching out my lower back. I do a whole series of floor exercises, about 15 minutes. I finish on the mat just in planking, because planking is going to give us the strength for a good body position. And, as you know, being tall,
Mhm.
it's all about organizing. So if things are ready to fire, and in my warm up, I do jump rope, I do walking around, I do a few these Russian steps that kind of get my groins warmed up, but every part of my body is warmed up in order to ask, to go out there and do one or two run throughs of a program at 58 years old.
Well, you look amazing. You're in excellent shape. I've also
Thank you. I've never been in better shape
really,
because of this season.
really
That's for
awesome.
sure. And in Oberstdorf, that was kind of the pinnacle of the whole season for me. And I seriously just had a week and a half ago my best skate ever in front of judges, because I had the confidence that I could do it, and I knew that I'd done the work, so I was able to relax and just enjoy it. And that was a whole new zone to tap into. So
Lauren has. I'll let you chime in, Lauren. She has actually skated since she was a child and has a long history of competing. And so we're very different in that. Like I started as an adult in my 40s, and she started.
mhm.
You're what, 3 years old, I think, 4 years old, and she's gold level. But we kind of like have talked about how we've noticed with some skaters that were professional, like some of those skaters like from the 90s, and I'm watching them now skate, and they're actually, I don't know if they're not under the pressure now, but they almost seem to be more beautiful skaters now, later in life. I mean, I know they're not doing all the technical things, but like just their fluidity and their lines and everything are. Nicole Bobek is a perfect example. I think that she looks great on the ice right now. And but you really love the competition. You love the pressure, right? So
I'm learning to love it. I mean, it was something that was not just natural. It was something that every time I've done it, I've gotten a little bit better at it. And all my little formula to that day, to getting on the ice, to staying calm is working, but it is a journey. It's an
mhm.
experience that I have loved as a challenge
Yeah,
more than anything. Doing the work in the rink with my coach, Lauren, um, you know, I couldn't do it without that experience, but I love it every single day.
yeah,
And, and I think as we just get older in it, we evolve, but all that fluidity just gets better because of the comfort,
yeah,
that we can find on that edge.
yeah.
Um,
Um, Lauren, what do you think about that? Do you want to chime in there? I'm gonna let you weigh in.
Hi, Eric. I'm actually at the rink.
Oh, very good. I love it. Are you a coach?
Just got off the session. Um, so
You
yeah,
coach.
I came back to skating after 10 years off the ice, but after college, I got my gold freestyle test and my gold moves in the field, and I competed through junior as a kid. So I have dabbled in possibly coming back to competing in the adult nationals. But
Uh-huh.
as of right now, I like to perform and I like to do shows and I just like to create art through life experience. So I think there's something to be said with the comfortability of as you age, you kind of just let go a little bit more. One
Yes.
question I had for you is when you were a younger skater, what jumps did you do before you took a break?
Good question.
I was working on double toe. Double toe is something that came my quickest, I think, even before my axle, but axle, double toe, and double sow. Those were what I was mainly working on. As I think, as a gold man, I think those were the highest jumps you could do. So I think those were ultimately my goals. I did have a lot of success with them because, again, organizing my body. I think the 15 years off ice doing yoga really helped me get a core. And then you get a little clearer on, okay, let's organize this technique. Let's make these little micro changes that are going to get you into the right position. And, a lot of visualizing and all that kind of stuff has gotten me to the confidence to do the double loop. And I think that's going to be the key because it's very consistent. I didn't do it in Oberstdorf, and I'm because I don't think I had to. But I do want to compete with the double loop, double flip, and double Lutz in this next season. So
I love a lot of things about your story. I love the fact that you overcame so much adversity with so many surgeries because a lot of people would just,
Amazing.
especially the older you get, you would just throw in the towel or maybe just skate around and do like not the jumps and pushing yourself to that level. So that is so admirable. And I also love about your overall attitude about skating that you want to keep pushing yourself further into the sport and you're always like goal oriented. But I also think that's something that skating instills in us, no matter what our age.
I think it's the best thing about skating, to be honest, because at any level, there's always room to improve. Even Ilya
Always.
Melanin, there's room for him to improve. And of course, he is working hard before this next Olympic season. But there's always something. And I think if you put it in perspective and not overshoot your goals, but put it, as these challenges in front of you, it's so exciting when you can, I know when I'm going to land my double Lutz, I'm going to be so happy, and you'll see
Yeah,
it on.
I know.
The first time, because of the junior free skate, which is my goal, I was like, I'm determined to do a double double. And that was the first day I tried that. So I'm happy my husband got that on video. And I immediately posted it. And Lauren, like, that's
Wait.
really good. But,
The
Yeah,
first time you tried a double double, you landed it?
well, the double toe, I tried it a while ago because we were trying to figure out what I could do into program. But, you use both those toe loops up,
Mhm.
then you don't have a lot extra. So I was trying to do a double sow, double toe, and my sow wasn't pulling so nicely that I had flow enough to get into the double toe. So I haven't used it in a program, but I had tried it. Oh, excuse me.
sure.
Um, uh, I hadn't tried it in like a year and a half because this whole year I was only doing what I needed to do for this next season and what the program was set. And I didn't try too much outside, and now that the season's over, I get to go and try this double Lutz and whatnot. But yeah, that was the first time I had done it in about a year and a half, but not a lot of success. But I've been studying Gabby. Is it Dillman from Canada?
Canada?
Canada.
Yes, that
He's so weird.
triple toe. It's the best thing we can do is study
Huh.
somebody that we think is unbelievable at something and just find that timing to go up and down and have
Yeah.
that reach. And, and it hit that day. And actually, I've been doing that double toe every time I skate lately. And it's been really
Ew.
good. Even in Oberstdorf, a friend of mine, Natalie, was like, oh, wow, you just reached right back and got into that. And there's a timing thing that feels really good. I think as soon as I do my double Lutz, I'm going to just put a double toe on it.
Yeah.
And then that'll be my junior test
It
that
sounds
I'm
like
hoping.
you're really in tune with your body. It seems like you're
Yes.
really, really into. Has that been a process? Has that been something that you've developed over
I think it
years?
just happens with every single one of those warm-ups, with just my waltz jumps, on the ice. It's really regimented. My on ice warm up, that 5-10 minutes, all those things lead you into having success for that next 45-40 minutes. And just doing it boom boom and moving on to the next one so I can get to the ones I really want to work on consistently. And then the jumps kind of come, because they really are all the same jump.
Mhm.
As much as it's baffling, it really is. And you got to be right within that circle. And when you understand your circle with your arms and being over your skate, and you can organize everything, then it's like that magic happens when it's effortless.
It seems to me like
And
hearing you talk, I think that you could also become a good coach someday. Have you ever thought about
oh,
coaching?
well, I actually I'm actually in Palm Springs today. I live
Are
in
you?
Palm Springs.
Oh, okay.
I traveled to LA to train and
Hmm.
keep an apartment by the rink there. We have a rink here, and I literally started about a year ago, but they're not being supportive of the figure skating. They
Oh,
just want it to be hockey. So it's one of those stories. It's a little sad. But that being said,
they're
I've
lost.
been hired at Pickwick for this next season. I'm going to start dabbing into Learn to Skate, and I want to
Yeah,
start at the very bottom. But I think what I'm going to bring to it overall is not being a main coach. I'm going to be a specialized coach that
yeah,
comes in and helps you with your warm up before you even put the
yeah,
skates on, which I think is the most important part of skating. You can't
yeah.
get out of your car and strap on those skates and expect to have
It's
success on the
so
ice
important.
without
It's so important.
allowing your body to like find its place. And that's what's the key ultimately to my success. So I want to specialize in that, the first 5-10 minutes on the ice. And then I want to take people from what program they have, but just make it better and presentable. And Irina, my choreographer who brought me back to the ice at 45, she just spent a couple of times in front of a mirror with me in my hands and really taught me how to move within my circle so it looks good on the ice. And that has carried me through. And those are little things that I think I could help people, because, there's nothing worse when you see someone out there skating really well, but then their hands are like
Yeah,
dead. They're just hanging there. That connection is everything for the line. So,
yeah.
um,
Eileen Urich, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She is here in Raleigh, but she
uh-huh.
was like a ballet teacher, but she just works with figure skaters. She just came back from the was it called, Lauren, the training in Colorado?
It was the
Oh yeah,
USFS Access to Excellence camp for elite skaters
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Gracie and Paulina.
yeah. And she has a really wonderful program that sort of complements what skating, what you just recommended. That's
Yeah.
awesome that you have someone that you work with doing that. I had a question for you, and I just completely lost it. Oh my gosh, really
It'll
lost
come
I
it.
back.
just wanted to say, Eric, we can put each other on our double let's, because that's the one double I haven't been able to stand up on so well. But it was my best double. It flew across the ice when I was younger.
Mm.
I've had 2 children, so we can push each other to get those lessons.
Okay. I
Yes.
love it. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I have specifically not been attempting at all because I wanted to get everything behind me done and Oberstdorf in the books and then move on for this next
Yeah.
challenge. So,
So I came back to me.
Awesome.
Are you fearless, Eric?
you know what? I got to be reality is, with my age and I have had injuries, I don't want to hurt myself again. So, I'm not going to say I'm fearless, but I feel confident when I'm on the ice and I'm feeling in my body and very present. Skating is kind of like being a pilot, I always thought, because there's a little time I was flying also. It
Oh,
requires so much multitasking. You're really technically very tuned into the mechanics of what you're trying to do. Plus, you got to look for traffic.
yeah.
So you're also busy scanning. You're also trying to interpret an emotion. There's multiple facets that make a figure skater, something that you want to watch.
Yeah.
And I think all those facets make it very interesting and exciting. And I've always just everything into whatever I've done. So
Yeah.
I've had success in hairdressing for years, and ultimately, you know, my heart isn't skating because we know it's fun. There's
Yeah.
nothing like it.
Yeah, it's the best
So,
thing ever. I struggle with some fear factor issues, and I'm trying to like talk through one of the reasons why I thought we need to have a podcast where we can sort of like talk through some of the challenges that we experience.
okay.
'Cause I feel like just talking through things can actually really help, and the mental rehearsal and things like that. And
Yes.
so I'm still like trying to find that good tip, somebody that can like sort of help me through some of the fear issues that I have. And I know that that's um, something that I just have to do it. But I do worry about injury. Like I do, I don't want to, I
What
don't.
is the fear? The fear of leaving the ice, or
Um, just I don't. Sometimes I don't want to go to the next level or try harder things because I'm afraid that I'm going to fall or like I've had a
yeah.
few friends who've had concussions and several friends who've broken lots of. And I have been fortunate. I had a knee injury once, but it wasn't very bad. So I've been pretty fortunate. But
Well, I think those are sometimes there's red flags
yeah,
that we need to listen to. And if it's fear or of just trying something new, you kind of want to make sure it's not just your body saying, don't do this because for some reason,
yeah,
um, I try, I think the best thing we can do, especially for our doubles, is be doing our singles beautifully, right?
mhm,
So I always start with 3 waltz jumps, and that gets my timing going. And there's certain little bits that get me going. If I can't do a waltz jump or my back scratch spin travels, I know I have to like come to the boards and get a grip because
mhm,
I'm not going to be able to do everything else that
mhm,
I'm asking my body unless all that was good. So
mhm,
I've kind of found that chipping away at things, and then maybe one day it doesn't feel good. So that day, maybe I work on spins,
mhm.
or something
I
like
remember in
that.
San Jose watching your. I remember watching your warm up and watching you do your waltz jumps, and you were working with someone pretty famous. I think you had like a famous coach working with you there. Did you?
Well, I started because I fell in love with Michelle Kwan.
Yeah.
So 1996 is the first time I stepped on the ice. I was 6 years old. Um, no, I'm 67, so I would have been. Nevertheless, I know I started at 26, but in 1996, I do remember starting and just being so in love with Michelle Kwan, and somehow things happened for me. Maybe it's lucky or whatnot, but I started working with um, somebody that had worked with Frank Carroll, and Frank Carroll immediately took me on, and I got to work with Frank my first 3 years as an adult. He would work with me and then all his amazing elite skaters. And I got to skate on that ice
Yeah.
so many times. And that gave me a confidence to move. Speed is always a thing that I had naturally.
You do have that.
But from him to Robert Taylor and Irina Yelchin, and then Lauren Levin, who was a Frank student as well, I've been blessed to have an opportunity to work with for so long now, 5-6 years. And before that, I was with Misha G and his parents, and his mother, although she couldn't be my coach to put me on the ice. They really fine-tuned me a lot, and Misha G just always supported me, and he did a couple programs for me in my life. And I'm happy to say this last season, of all my success, these 2 programs I created.
Oh.
And this was music I wanted to skate to so badly. And I think when you put that next level in of passion in your heart, it comes out. I feel so rewarded for all my efforts, I knowing what I wanted to put in there, and then my coach and I just letting it happen naturally and see how do you feel like you want to do this part, and then just seeing what comes out of me.
Mhm.
Yay, this year has been the best success. And I'm out there just doing what's coming from my heart
I love it
instead of
so
trying
much.
to do someone's choreography.
Yeah.
So, Eric, you choreographed your programs this year?
Both of them, yes.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I ask
Renee
you?
Roca, Renee Roca worked with me on my circular footwork, and that was a great lesson. But it has evolved and grew a little bit more because I wanted to try and get a level in Oberstdorf. But yeah, I've created.
Renee Roca is such a legend. That's amazing.
Oh, I know. I get to skate with
Mhm.
her here, and I've actually taken a few dances in the last year. I'm up to pre-silver, so she's helped me along the way, and I've
Wow.
got some exemplary comments on my solo dance tests.
Wow.
So that's been really, really fun.
So,
That's really awesome.
I was just going to ask, going off of that, um, do you think that you having uh, a hand in creating that was key to your success because maybe it was more meaningful to you?
Mm.
I think so, but I think the success came because it was all comfortable to me.
Hmm.
I'm out there doing me. And
Yeah.
I told myself this whole season, just do you all day long before I competed. This is you. I'm not worried about. And it really worked. It kind of like was okay. That allowed me to stay in my knees that day when it's so important and just go out and I just said the last thing I say before I skate is you do you, girl. And
I love
and
that.
and it just really allowed me that opportunity to have escape my potential. And again, it's even getting better. It wasn't perfect in Overstorf, but we're always striving for that perfect moment. But in my heart, I was flying, and I didn't have the nerves where I was
Love
stuck on my
that.
toe pick or anything.
Yeah.
And I my final double sow, it's been so consistent lately, and it was there for me that day, which it wasn't at nationals, and it felt so good.
Oh,
Felt
that's wonderful. I just wanted to ask, what is your training schedule like? We asked Stan the same question when he was on.
Yeah, it's really in the whole last competition season, it was really 5 days a week. I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in a row with my coach in LA, and then I would try and get a little freestyle here in Palm Springs on Fridays and Saturdays. Derek Delmore is who put me on the ice at Nationals and in Oberstdorf. So I've also added a little bit of Lakewood in Los Angeles, which is an unbelievable rink. The elite skaters there are phenomenal. I'm on sessions with triples and quads, and
Wow.
it's
Sorry, Andrews.
powerful. Oh yeah, Star and her mother. They're both there, and I love Star. She's just amazing,
Yeah.
and the whole team there. It's inspiring to be around all that
Yeah.
talent. So
That's
uh,
so awesome. So how many hours a day are you on the ice?
I'm a full hour, and then in competition season, I try to get 2 hours, 2 or 3 of those days. I have to limit myself because I am 58 years old. And the only reason I've had success is because my coach, Lauren, keeps me grounded. Don't overdo it. And that's when I end up hurting myself. So if I can get the job done in that 1 hour with everything, I get off the ice, I feel great. And I'm having constant, this year was all about doing better spins because that's where we get our points.
Yeah.
So my focus was really maintaining what jumps I did have and get the spins better.
It's amazing
So
to me what the human body is capable of if you
yes.
are taking care of it, right? There's a man, well, Stan Kimmer, he's 70 years old. He competes. But we have another man at our rink who's 82 years old, and he's not competing, but he still comes and skates. He takes lessons.
Yeah.
82 years old. I mean, that's just amazing to me. Um,
Well, we have Richard Dreyer at my rink. Do you know who that gentleman
yes,
is?
yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
still pops in weekly to Pickwick, and he's amazing.
Do you know how old he is?
Oh God, I want to say he's close to 80 because I know he was doing an axle at 75, but I think he could be 80.
It's amazing.
I wish I knew exactly, but that man is unbelievable, and he just
Yeah,
glides around, and he's not jumping anymore, but he
yeah.
still enjoys it. It's something we're
Do you
going to
know
have in our
Anita
life.
Hartsford and Frank Swat
Of course, I
yeah,
spent through COVID. I went to
Sun
Sun
Valley?
Valley because it was outside,
So that's
and I
where,
got to meet Anita and Frank. I actually cut both of their hair, and they were giving me lessons.
well,
I was like, the celebrity hairdresser in Sun Valley, and
yeah.
there I was doing many of the big name coaches. Linda Fradiani even
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, I'm like, girl, your hair is beautiful. I
So
go,
Eric,
I know
that's
that's
where I started. That's how I discovered skating. I was living in Idaho, and
okay.
I didn't even know there was an outdoor rink there. I stumbled upon it just walking around the resort there, and I like, what is this? And it's like heaven on earth, it's so beautiful. It was like
Yes.
September, and people were skating. And I was like, this is ridiculously beautiful. I must experience this. So I went in and I, saw that you could rent skates, and they're like, do you want to take a lesson? And so I was like, yeah. And so it just so happened that Frank was available that day, and so he gave me my very
Unbelievable.
first lesson, and that was in 2018. And
Okay.
and then I started taking lessons with Anita. I just really, I don't know, I fancied working with Anita. And so I just started working with her, love her so much. But, they're still doing very amazing. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, they have done it so long. I mean, they've done so many shows. Their bodies are formulated to do what they do, and they do it. They were injured when I was in Sun Valley at one point, and they couldn't do that season, that summer show. They were both very upset. And I think it was the point where they said, we're retiring from doing the show now. And it was heartfelt, but they're just incredible.
Don't they direct a show in Germany or something?
They do, and I think they are also part of a talent team scout that finds people for shows and helps, produce shows. So I think they have their hand in all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I loved some of my stuff. I was there for like 3 years, and I got to take lessons with Judy Blumberg as well.
She's there, yeah.
Judy. But now I'm in North Carolina, and I have a different coach now. Her name is Jackie, but she's great. But yeah, I miss Anita.
And you just started in 2018?
Well, so I've kind of been off and on, off and on. I really so when COVID hit, I was off for a while. I moved here in 2020, and I didn't even know there were rinks here. And then we have like six. Locally we have 6 ice rinks here in the Raleigh area, believe it or not. And it happens to be one like 5 minutes from where I live. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I started taking lessons, and I do it like, there was a time where I was doing it like 4 or 5 times a week, but now I'm just taking like 1 lesson a week, and then I try to practice a few days a week. I'm working towards wanting to do a competition, but I just love skating. I do it because I love, it's the only exercise that I actually enjoy.
Yeah. It's the best feeling ever. It really is.
I love it.
It's a experience.
Yeah, I mean, I love the smell of the ice. I love feeling the wind on my face, making wind, and just, I love going fast. It's like my sanctuary. I feel like it's the place where I can let everything go, and just that's my time, But
that's the thing I think is so special, is that it's so individual, right? That you get to step away from whatever's going on in your day, and you get to focus, and you don't think about anything else. You don't think about the news. You don't think about anything. And that is the best part of skating. You got to focus on what you're doing. Yeah. But that exercise and all that, it really built up those endorphins in a very positive way. So I'm so glad you're touched. Yeah. So for some people, it's just a big deal getting the skates on, right?
Yeah.
So, at every level.
Speaking of which, do you have custom-made boots?
I'm off the rack anymore. Those Adeas, I've got my, what number is that, 180s or whatever? They just fit me. I have a really simple, narrow foot that I do best in a Nike shoe. And these ones really break in great. I'm in a concerto. Okay. And I try and get a whole season out of them, but as much as I'm skating, I almost need a boot before the season's over, and that's what happened this year. Okay. Because they do break down a lot for me. Yeah. Awesome. And once they're gone, they're gone. But boy, there's no break-in period. I'm jumping within a couple of skates, and they've been great.
So is it okay? I can't think of any other questions for Eric. Do you have any questions? Any more questions for Eric?
Maybe just like a little bit of word of advice for people who might want to try to be on the ice, or adult skaters in general, to push themselves forward?
Mm-hmm. Well, my best bit of advice for figure skating, I think, is, find your comfortable equipment and take care of your body in the process and enjoy it, because, it is not like walking. So we have to remember, you've got to stretch. You've got to warm up your body. You've got to have everything feeling good, or don't do it because it could be dangerous, But I think, I think the best word of advice is find your find your peace in it with taking care of your body in the process, you know, because wherever we're at, we just need to be as warm and reactive because things happen fast out there. And then I think, well, every single time, if you spent that maybe at the beginning, just 5 or 10 minutes, just doing more movement, doing your arms, getting things warmed up, your shoulders, you're going to have such a better time on the
Oh
ice.
yeah, for sure. I love that you talked about the yoga too, because I think that that is really helpful. When I was younger, I did a lot of yoga, and I am just naturally very, very flexible. And
Mm,
I think you've actually, I am inspired now. I want to start doing yoga again. I think that that
yeah.
would be a really nice
Or
addition.
take your favorite parts of yoga and then put that on the mat or wherever, however you want to do it. Incorporate it into your warm up before you skate. So get to the rink from now on 15 minutes before you put your skates on and give
Yeah.
yourself. I'm doing now 30 minutes before I put my skates on.
Hmm.
And, you know, the planking I think helps a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and then just stretching like you're on a bar with your legs and opening up all your hips everywhere and get all those muscles so they're relaxed. But the most important thing is your lower back being relaxed. So starting on a mat on your back with your knees to your chest, and then you do next movements. And if you keep all the stretches on the shorter side, do longer stretching after you skate because it takes a while for your muscles to recover after a real long stretch. So a yoga class, it's going to take a few hours for you to recover.
Hmm.
And on skating, we need to be able to be sharper, quicker. So all the warm up that you do before skating should be bullet points. You get to the position, you're not holding it too long, and you're moving on. And I think that timing has helped me with training a program and doing all of that stuff. Because to put it all together is the magic in figure
Yeah.
skating. But that warm up, I think, is the most important. Yoga is
Okay.
good for everybody,
Hmm.
but I think for figure skaters, there it can bring a sense of calmness, you know, as we get through all those positions. But you're finding your core, and you
Yeah.
can't do those positions without having good posture and stuff. So
Yeah.
posture and all those things are what's most beautiful on the
Lauren, we
ice.
should do yoga together. I
Okay.
think we should. Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I've got my husband who was he's been at the computer for 35 years at
Yeah.
his job, and his shoulders are changing. We've been together now 7 years, and
Mhm.
it's something he sticks to here in the desert, and he does it
Awesome.
almost 3 times a week. It's helping him a lot.
Yeah. Do you ever go up to I'm familiar with Palm Springs, but my friend lives in Palm Desert, the place where you go
Yes.
all the way up to the top and it's snowing up there. You ever
Oh
done
yeah, the tramway for
So
sure.
awesome. I love that. It's so cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been such an honor and pleasure to just
Oh my God,
talk with
it's my
you.
absolute pleasure.
Yeah, this is going to be so helpful for so many people. I know it. And
Thank you.
you inspire us. So,
Oh,
yeah, thank
we've
you
met
so much.
before, Lauren.
Have you?
I know it's wherever it is. We've met before, right?
She's in Chicago.
Where have we
Okay.
met?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Chicago.
I haven't been to Chicago much, but
Oh,
I hope I see you in the adult figure skating community. That would be wonderful.
she's
Just do
Yes.
an
awesome.
artistic program to start off with in the master's level. You'll enjoy that so much.
We just had Ashley Pontano on, and she was telling me about Showcase. And she skates Showcase with her fiance, Ashlyn, and they're
Uh-huh.
beautiful. Do you know them?
No.
Oh,
They're
you guys.
beautiful skaters,
Yeah.
both of them. And I think there's so many different avenues you can take in the adult skating world, which is so cool, you know,
Yeah.
and
I love
inspiring.
Showcase. Yeah,
Yeah.
Showcase is something I've dabbled into here and there. I'm going to focus now on this junior free skate, and I want to move up to the final competitive level.
You're gonna rock
So
it,
awesome.
Eric. You have such like the intrinsic motivation.
Well,
I
you're like
also
the
love really
prototype.
quick. I love how you said that all the jumps are essentially the same jump, because what I've learned coming back as an adult is it's like a giant physics lesson. That's what
Yes.
skating is.
Yes.
Centrifugal force, inertia,
Yes.
like
The loop. The loop is the key. If your
yeah.
loop is good, you can do anything. And organizing that loop is everything. So that's got to be the first warm up thing after your waltz jumps.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just to find your right side or whatever you're jumping, whatever your side is. But that loop is the secret. So
I think loops are like such a beautiful jump. I love loops. Love, love,
They
love.
can be.
They
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah, awesome.
Can't wait to see your double lutz.
Yes. We're going to
Awesome.
rock it. Both of us. Inspo.
I love it. Sounds great.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you so
Eric.
much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. I
Take
appreciate
care,
it.
Eric. See you soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.